everyone, my name's Ali and welcome back to my channel, Mindful Living. I'm back with a new video today sharing everything you need to know to grow microgreens indoors from seed to harvest. In this video, I'll cover basic instructions on how to grow microgreens, what seeds to use, what type of soil to use, when to harvest your greens, and most importantly, how to use fresh microgreens in recipes. But before we get started with the growing process, let's talk about these small but mighty greens. So what exactly are microgreens? Microgreens are young, edible seedlings that are packed with tons of flavor and nutrients in a single bite. Classified as a superfood, their nutrient content is highly concentrated, which means they contain higher amounts of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants than the same quantity of mature greens. In fact, microgreens contain up to 40 times more nutrients depending on the type of plant you are growing. The best part is they are so simple and easy to grow indoors on a sunny windowsill or under a grow light. In this video, I'll be sharing 7 top tips for growing microgreens at home, so let's go ahead and get started with tip number 1. Tip number 1 is selecting the right seeds. Microgreen seeds are no different than regular seeds. When selecting your seeds, choose from your favorite vegetable and herbs based on your flavor preference and what seeds you have on hand. You can opt for a sprouting mix like I'm showing here, which contains a blend of seeds like broccoli, radish, arugula, and mustard greens. Or you can use seeds you already have in your seed collection. Other popular types of microgreens include Swiss chard, kale, spinach, bok choy, and herbs like basil, cilantro, or parsley. You can also grow lettuce microgreens using popular lettuce varieties like Little Gem, romaine, or buttercrunch. Tip number 2 is to use seed starting mix to grow your microgreens. While any type will do, my preferred brands are Golf Green or Pro Mix. Select any size container you like, but make sure it is wide and shallow with proper drainage holes. I'm using aluminum baking trays here, which I've poked holes in the bottom for drainage and watering purposes. Any size container will do, but the wider the container, the more microgreens you can grow at once. While you can use other growing mediums like potting soil, I prefer using seed starting mix because it is lightweight and retains moisture well. On top of this, seed starting mix provides a sterile, well-draining, and nutrient-rich environment that promotes healthy root development and overall growth. After filling your containers, use a spray bottle to moisten the growing medium before sowing your seeds. Tip number 3 is to heavily seed your trays. In order to grow lots of delicious microgreens, you'll need to sow an abundance of seeds. Unlike other seedlings that require proper spacing, microgreens are sown close together in a small space. The seeds should be tightly packed and close together with very few spaces or gaps in between. After sowing, do not cover the seeds with soil. Instead, leave them uncovered so that when the sprouts develop, they remain clean and free of dirt. For the first few days while germination occurs, give the seeds a blackout period for 24 to 48 hours, which is what I'm doing here. Microgreens benefit from a blackout period because it triggers a natural plant response to stretch for light, resulting in taller, easier to harvest crops with a stronger root system. The absence of light during this blackout period causes microgreens to focus on stretching their stems in search of light and leads to taller, more robust plants. Moving on to tip number 4, which is to provide your microgreens with plenty of direct sunlight. Most microgreens typically germinate within 2 to 3 days, but this will vary depending on the type of seed. After germination occurs, place your trays in a sunny, south-facing window and aim to give them about 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight each day. If necessary, you can place your trays under a grow light to supplement sunlight. When growing under an artificial light source like a grow light, you'll need to provide microgreens with at least 12 to 14 hours of light each day. My next tip is one of the most important ones, which is to water your microgreens from the bottom rather than overhead. Watering microgreens directly overhead may cause damage to their delicate stems and leaves, causing the seedlings to wilt and fall over, along with increasing the chance of mold growth. To water from the bottom, place the trays inside another container or tray, add water, and allow the plants to absorb the water slowly. After letting your microgreens sit in the water for about 5 to 10 minutes and the soil begins to look saturated, discard any excess water from the tray. Avoid letting your microgreens sit in water for too long, which can cause fungal diseases and mold growth to occur. Provide your microgreens with water every 1 to 2 days whenever the soil feels slightly dry to the touch. Moving on to tip number 6, which is harvesting your greens at the correct time. Microgreens grow rapidly, and they are typically ready for harvest within 7 to 21 days or when your plants reach 2 to 3 inches tall. Avoid waiting too long to harvest your microgreens, as they will mature into young plants, developing thicker stems and leaves, which can make them less tender and more bitter tasting. To harvest microgreens, use sharp scissors and trim them directly at the soil level. While it's best to harvest and eat your microgreens fresh, which is what I like to do, you can also store them in a plastic bag or airtight container in the refrigerator for 7 to 10 days. Make sure to place a piece of paper towel in the bag to absorb any excess moisture and condensation. For my 7th and final tip, I'm going to share how to use microgreens after harvest. Microgreens are versatile greens that can be used in a variety of recipes. They are best eaten raw in order to retain their nutrients and flavor. I love topping my avocado toast with fresh microgreens to up the nutrients and add a beautiful pop of color, or add them to your favorite toast variation. You can also use them as a topping for pizza, sandwiches, and wraps, and healthy homemade soups. Toss them into your salads or green smoothies. And lastly, I love adding microgreens to my eggs in the morning for a boost of nutrients. I prefer scrambled eggs, but you could also add them to a fried egg or omelet. Well, that's it for this video. I hope if you guys enjoyed this video and learning about how to grow microgreens indoors, that you will leave me a like, leave me a comment down below. I love connecting with my subscribers. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future uploads. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.